Hello and welcome to Treasury Notes, a show dedicated to the latest news and information from the Office of West Virginia State Treasurer John Perdue. I'm Greg Stone, filling in for Gina Joins. When it comes to saving for retirement, there is never a better time than today to assess your plan and see if you're on track to meet your retirement goal. Coming up in today's show, we'll talk to John Fisher, Deputy Treasurer for West Virginia Retirement Plus, a program sponsored by the State Treasurer's Office. We'll be talking about how you can get in the game and stay on track for a winning retirement plan. But first, as the State Treasurer, John Perdue has made it his mission to help the people of West Virginia build a more secure future through their own personal finances. Treasurer Perdue has worked to provide personal financial literacy education to everyone in the state through the public schools, financial education effort, and financial education seminars, such as West Virginia Women and Money. This fall, Treasurer Perdue personally took his financial planning message to nearly 2,000 high school seniors. Kim Ward has more.
High school seniors are on the verge of financial independence. That's why Treasurer Perdue believes it is so important to reach out to them at this stage in their life and teach them about financial responsibility. Treasurer Perdue brought teen financial expert Chad Foster to West Virginia this fall to speak with students about finances. Chad is an energetic speaker and has a special way of not only getting kids to listen, but to learn about financial matters they may have never thought about before.
I learned a lot about saving your money and how it's better to save it, 'cause in the long run you'll have that. And I learned a lot about retirement and just how to use your money wisely.
Carly Wolf is one of nearly 2,000 high school seniors that heard Chad Foster's presentation this fall. Treasurer Perdue brought Chad back to West Virginia to speak to high school students about money management.
Being able to manage that money, being able to multiply that money, and most important, paying themselves first.
Learning to pay yourself first is a continuing message through Chad's presentation.
Doodles made her money a little bit at a time, but every time she made her money, she saved her money, and she went to that bank, and she let that money work for her.
Chad and the treasurer both stressed to students the importance of living within your means and staying out of debt.
How many of you already have a credit card? Some of you do.
The minimum payment is going to ruin your financial life.
The message hit home with students like Carly.
I think I'll save it more and just use money that I have instead of using credit cards, because I think I would spend money that I don't have and then regret it later.
We can educate them when they go out in the real world that the most important thing they can do is not to go get that credit card and start spending and buying things and ending up with the first foot into bankruptcy.
School administrators understand the importance of bringing someone like Chad in to speak to students.
Give them the opportunity to have some advice from someone outside the school, someone who's had the real world experience.
It really made me think about what I'm going to do in my future, like how I'm going to invest my money and how I need to save now.
Chad hopes that students walk away from his presentations realizing that the lessons he taught them not only apply right now, but down the road when they begin their careers or start a family, even as they prepare for retirement.
You will start making financial decisions very, very soon. And if you make good ones now, you'll be making good ones later.
Teaching financial responsibility at a young age is very important to Treasurer Perdue.
I really believe financial education is the future of West Virginia.
I've been to almost every state in the country speaking about financial literacy, and this is the first time the state treasurer from that state has ever come out to be a part of these presentations. So John Perdue really gets it, and I think he finds financial literacy to be an important part of the future of these young people, and I really do commend him for that.
Since 2009, Chad Foster has visited 17 West Virginia high schools as part of Treasurer Perdue's High School Money Conference series. During those visits, they've reached nearly 5,000 teenagers with their message about early financial planning. Students also receive a copy of Chad's book, Financial Literacy for Teens, that serves as a guide to the real world of money. Treasurer Perdue's high school money conferences are possible thanks to funding from the West Virginia Education Foundation. If you would like to learn more about this and other financial education opportunities offered by the State Treasurer's Office, just go to our website at wvtreasury.com.
Treasurer Perdue's office offers financial education opportunities for all ages, from grade school to adulthood and into retirement. Of course, when it comes to retirement planning, it's never too early to start and never too late to change your game plan. Joining us today is John Fisher with West Virginia Retirement Plus. John, thank you for being here today.
Good to see you, Greg.
Yeah.
Nice to be back.
Yeah, it's good to have you. John, I suppose we might as well start out. October 21st through the 27th is National Saving for Retirement Week.
That's right.
Now, what do we hope that people will take from that?
It's a national event, Greg, that really encourages people to save for retirement. It's really simple, but it's a great event. Helps people to save for retirement. We've done it for about 5 years now, so it's been very successful.
Mm-hmm. What types of activities, we won't dwell on it too long, but what activities would you, do you do to make people aware that their retirement is indeed important?
This year we've done a series of email blasts to all of our public employees. I think we've done 2 already, and we'll do 1 during the actual week. And we actually sent a postcard to our participants as well. So it's just something to kind of get them thinking about making a plan for retirement. And we've really had 3 things that we want them to do is really meet with their ING representative and sit down and talk with them about maybe a rollover. If they're in the plan, maybe increasing their contributions. If they're not in the plan, to simply join the plan. So that's really what we focused on this year.
Mm-hmm. Just generally speaking, West Virginia Retirement Plus has been a great success, and we'll get to that a little later.
Sure.
But when it comes to retirement planning as a whole, what should people, is it ever too early to think about retirement?
I don't think so, and I don't think it's ever too late, as you mentioned at the outset. People can start anytime. We have people that join our plan in their 50s and 60s just because they want to have a little extra for retirement. But obviously, if you start at the beginning of your career, you can really benefit from that and have a nice nest egg when you retire if you begin that planning process earlier.
Mm-hmm. What do you tell folks to try to drive that point home? Is it tough sometimes when someone is young and retirement seems a lifetime away,
yeah.
and maybe funds aren't, abundant?
Exactly. Well, we've both been in their shoes. We're getting older now, Greg, just kidding. But
well, I'm not. I'm going the other way.
Okay.
I'm like Benjamin Button.
But when I was in my 20s, I came to the workforce, and it's the last thing on my mind. Same with a lot of kids today. But what you can really hit them with is some good financial education techniques to talk to them about the compounding factor of money. You start to save early, how that can really make a difference when you actually do retire. Mm-hmm. So that financial education component is key with those younger workers.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, what would be a good basic strategy, like a good starting point?
I think a good basic strategy, if you're just starting out and you really don't know a lot about investing or saving, is really go to a good retirement calculator online. There's a lot of these out there. As a matter of fact, we have one on our website, wv457.com, and it's called My Retirement Outlook, and it's very simple. Basically what it'll do is it will estimate your pension for public employees, it'll estimate your Social Security benefit, and then you can put in how much that you are currently saving or how much you plan to save, and it'll give you an idea of what you need to do to really meet your goals. And these calculators are everywhere on the internet, so if you're not a public employee, just find a good website to go to. There's a lot of good financial education websites out there.
And can they help you arrive at a level of saving that will position you well, but not, you have to obviously still have living expenses. You can't,
sure,
you can't sock so much money away for retirement that you keep going back and dipping back into it, and you're really not gaining anything.
That's right. You have to really, I think the first place to start is a good budgeting process to kind of figure out what's coming in, what's going out as far as expenses go, and then really get a game plan together as to what you can save every month, and just start simple, start small even, and as you maybe pay off the mortgage, put the kids through college, get more tenured in your position, maybe you can afford to save a little more as you get closer to retirement.
What do people need to consider we hear more and more that people are going to have to work longer.
Sure.
Is that, how do you adjust to that?
Most experts say you need 80% of your working income in retirement, but we all know that the price of everything is going up every day. One of our stats that we talk about in our presentations is that if you have someone that's on a $30,000 fixed income at just 3% inflation, in 20 years' time, their buying power is really cut in half. And that's simply because things are going up every day, and that's what you have to plan for. You know, price of a gallon of milk, you know, loaf of bread, entertainment, a car, a house, it's all going up, so you have to save a little more to really help yourself plan for that.
Now, just hitting on the official week for a second again.
Sure.
The theme is get in the game.
Yep.
Now, what's that mean?
That means get in the game, don't sit on the sideline, make a plan for your retirement and start saving now. That's really what it's all about.
Okay. Okay, now, I tell you what, John, we're going to take a short break, and we'll be back with more from you, John, when we come back, okay?
Thank you.
Sit right there.
The primary function of the Treasurer's Office is cash management. People don't realize that we are the largest bank in the state of West Virginia. People have no idea how much money comes through the Treasurer's Office, over $13 billion now. I pride myself in being the best state in managing money in the nation. I'm the banker of state government. We are your bank. We take care of your money.
Welcome back to Treasury Notes. I'm Greg Stone. John Fisher is here with us today talking about the importance of planning for retirement and what you should do to make sure your plan is on track. We welcome John back. John is the Executive Director and the Deputy Treasurer for West Virginia Retirement Plus. That is the state's officially sanctioned retirement plan. And again, thanks for being here, John.
Sure.
Now, West Virginia Retirement Plus, why don't you give us a little insight into the genesis of the plan and how the Treasurer's Office came to administer that plan?
At the outset, Treasurer Perdue wanted to move it to our office because he felt like we could improve the plan and market it more aggressively. And we passed legislation in July of 2006 that really moved it from the Consolidated Public Retirement Board. And at the outset, we hired a consultant, Siegel Advisors out of New York. And we really looked at the entire structure of the plan, and we did a study based upon other state plans and really looked for some areas of improvement. And we worked with Siegel and, of course, ING, our third-party administrator. And we made a lot of improvements to the investment menu, the customer service platform, lowered the fees, and really began to promote it more once we had made the improvements.
You've done a remarkable job. Why don't you just kind of fill us in a little bit on some of the amazing stats that we've been able to accomplish in 6+ years.
Yeah, basically we start out with around 5,000 employees participating, roughly $60 million in assets, and we've been able to double that. I think in September 30th we were at 13,000. Yeah, 13,000 participants, more than $130 million in assets. And I think that's really a testament to some of the outreach we're doing, really the financial education component of our plan. It's helping people understand the need for supplemental retirement income. And of course, good investment options don't hurt either. We've done really well through the ups and downs of the market. If
you look at percentages in total number of participants, we've had a more than 100% increase in total participants and a 91% increase in assets.
That's right. It's phenomenal.
That really is.
It is.
I congratulate you.
Thank you.
Yeah. You're the Deputy Treasurer in charge of the program, but you have a lot of folks that work with you.
Oh yeah.
What's been the key to getting the word out? How hard you guys work that? And why don't you give us a little insight into how often you are in various communities telling people and dealing with various towns, counties, public service districts, whatever it might be?
Well, it all starts with our staff. I have two people that work with me. There's Barbara Harmon and Sarah Lynch. They do a wonderful job. We're out of the office a lot because we do so much outreach. And we really partner with our local government specialists, and that has been a tremendous asset in bringing a lot of these cities and counties and other political subdivisions on board. And of course, we coordinate with ING too as well. We have 3 reps that we work with statewide, And they've done a wonderful job as well, helping us just get the message out about the plan, service our participants, and really get people excited about saving for retirement.
I wonder why you never answer your phone. I wanted to ask you if my plan with putting a coffee can in the yard was still a good one.
That probably would work.
But you won't pick up. In all seriousness, what when you're talking about Retirement Plus, if you had to name 3 attributes or advantages that it possesses, what would you focus on?
I think
3 or 4.
I think first of all, the tax benefits are really key. Anything that you put in the plan, you're going to lower both state and federal taxes, and that's a wonderful benefit. On top of that, there's federal tax credits for certain income brackets. They range between 10 and 50% based upon adjusted gross income, so that's another benefit. You have the lowering taxes component, the federal tax credits, and last but not least, it's very portable. You can take an old 401k or an IRA and you can roll it into a 457 plan. If you would leave public service, you could take it and roll it into a 401k, a pension, an IRA.
In the private sector.
Yeah, exactly. So it's not something that that stays here. It can move with you if you move on in your career. That's a great benefit.
You've had phenomenal success in marketing to boards of education, for one. Why don't you tell us a little bit about,
Sure.
I'm sorry, I meant to say county commissions.
Okay. Well, let's start with boards of education.
Okay.
They're
No.
they're newer to our plan. We have 11 of those that participate, so we're just starting to branch out to the boards of education. I think we've had Summers County recently, and Monongalia County have joined. They're 2 of our newest enrollees. We really started with the county commissions that you mentioned. We now have 51 out of 55 county commissions that participate. So we've really saturated the counties. Our goal, of course, is to get all 55 counties. We have more than 60 cities and towns that participate.
Now, I don't mean to interrupt, but when
Yeah.
you say participate, what does that mean for an employee of that city or county?
That just means that they can save via payroll deduction by using our retirement plan. What we do, we go out to these different political subdivisions, and what we do is make a presentation to their governing board, and if they choose to adopt our plan, then they can make it available to their employees. And the advantage for them is they get to join this large pool with really good investment options and a good service platform that they probably couldn't negotiate on their own. So it's really good for everyone.
When we talk about cities, the city of Nitro is a unique example.
That's right.
Tell us a little bit about how they operate in conjunction with us.
Yeah. Nitro was one of our first cities that adopted the plan, I believe probably in either 2006 or 2007. I think Hurricane was the first, but Nitro was either first or second. And Nitro has been in the plan for several years, but they've kind of copied what we do at the state level as far as automatically enrolling new employees. So they have adopted automatic enrollment for their new employees. So basically what that means, if the city of Nitro has a new employee, they are automatically enrolled in Retirement Plus unless they opt out. They have 30 days to make a decision. If they decide not to participate, that's fine. But if they don't opt out, then they're automatically enrolled for $10 a pay period. So it's been a wonderful success.
So they have to come to us and say, we don't want to be a part of it.
Exactly.
And if they don't, they're certainly not hurting themselves.
Exactly. The key with automatic enrollment is there's not a lot of paperwork. We just streamline it. It helps people. When you're new to employment, you get a whole stack of paperwork. This helps streamline it and helps them save for retirement. That's what it's all about.
And not that we're not twisting anyone's arm, but when you don't see the money, it's much easier. You don't realize that you're saving it.
That's right.
It's kind of painless saving.
That's right. It's a very good point. Our motto is really to, if you forget about it and it's there for you when you retire, if it comes out payroll deducted, you don't miss it, and it's there for that nest egg when you retire.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, you mentioned taxes. There are a couple of scenarios. We don't have to get into the nitty-gritty of all the numbers and everything, but there are certain scenarios in which if you get a raise and you appropriate it toward your 457 plan, you may experience a very slight or negligible increase in your net pay, right?
That's true. You know, a lot of times if you get a raise, what it'll do is maybe put you in a higher tax bracket. And if you compensate for that by putting a little more into your 457 plan, then you can keep your tax bracket manageable, lower your taxable income. So that's a benefit that a lot of people see out there. If they have a raise and it maybe jumps them into a higher tax bracket, they can save a little more, maybe keep them in a lower tax bracket, and it saves them on taxes.
That's a complaint you often hear with people who get it's an odd complaint to people who get a raise. Well, daggone, all it did was throw me into a higher tax bracket, so there's a remedy for that. Okay,
that's right.
Well, John, let's take another break, and when we come back, we'll talk some more about the growth of the plan and the workings of it. We'll be back just a few minutes with Treasury Notes.
We find all kinds of items, and that becomes unclaimed property, and it mounts into millions of dollars. It could be stock, it could be CDs, but it could also be a diamond ring or a gold watch of your dad's. We returned over $50 million to the people of West Virginia. I'm proud of that. You can go on our website, you can look at the names and see if your name's on there or someone that you recognize. We set the standard in the nation in returning unclaimed property.
Welcome back to Treasury Notes. Our guest today is John Fisher, the Executive Director of West Virginia Retirement Plus and Deputy Treasurer in the Treasurer's Office. John, we talked about when Treasurer Perdue took the steps or helped take the steps to get Retirement Plus or the 457 plan back in our office. He's got to be proud as well, being the kind of the visionary to get the plan in our office, to see the growth that we've experienced in the last 6 years.
I think he is, Greg. He talks about it a lot. It's one of the programs that's dear to his heart. He really had the vision, as you mentioned. He kind of cast it for us when we took it over. He wanted to be one of the premier 457 plans in the nation, and that's really our ultimate goal. We're not there yet, but we're getting there. We've made a lot of improvements, and I think we're going in that good direction that we need to be.
Mm-hmm. Now, we were talking about in the break, one of the strengths of the program is that people can get personal assistance. We have an excellent website,
right?
For one thing, that ING operates. You mentioned retirement calculators are on there, all sorts of other resources. You do a great job too of keeping your statistics up to date.
Thank you.
On how many people were so people can see that it's growing.
Sure.
You know, if they see that it's growing, then they have to figure that 13,000 people can't be all wrong.
That's right. Yeah. That's one of the things that makes our plan more marketable now. When you say you have 13,000 public employees in it, people are starting to think, well, why am I not in this? Why are so many people in this? I want to get involved in this as well. And as you mentioned, we have a lot of really points of contact for people. Our website is really first rate, I think, for state government. We work with our IT staff, and then of course with ING, it's kind of a combined effort, and my staff as well. But it has a lot of good components. We have those retirement calculators. You can go out there and see how the investments are doing. The returns are out there. As you mentioned, the statistics are there. There's some good brochures on the website. Of course, all of our forms are there. There's contact information for our office, and then of course the ING representatives. And then if you want more of a personal touch, we have those 3 ING representatives statewide. We have 2 right now here in the Charleston area. Steve Kearns is actually housed right down the street from the Capitol, so he's very accessible to a lot of our public employees in the Capitol.
And how nice is that? How important is that?
Oh, that's wonderful. People give us a lot of compliments on that because he's right down here on Courier Street, and if they want to meet him on their lunch hour or something like that, Steve can walk over to their office or vice versa. So it's very convenient. And we have a guy in the Bridgeport area, and he services that area and the northern and eastern panhandles. So we have really someone all over the state if you need them. So yeah.
So it truly is a state supplemental retirement plan.
It is.
In that regard, you can contact the folks that you need to when you need to.
And then of course there's a national customer service number where you can call and you can get your account balance through ING. And if you'd retire, if you want to draw your money out, you can get the appropriate forms to do that. And then we link to ING's website where you can manage your account online. You can move around your investment options, change your beneficiary, do things like that, change your address. Yeah.
We've recapitulated some of our past successes. Where do you see the future? When you look at the future, what are your goals? What are the goals of the plan?
The goals of the plan are pretty straightforward. Just more people saving and more entities to join. Right now, as far as state employees go, we're close to a 35% active participation rate. When we took over the plan, we were roughly maybe 15%. So we've seen a lot of progress there. I'd love to see in the near future we could have 50% of state employees participating, and then continue to grow in our local governments, cities and counties and the other entities that come on board as well, and have a lot of those employees saving in our plan.
By active participants, you mean people who are, putting something
every pay period.
Every pay period.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
that's
and that's really the key to building up any
Sure.
any savings plan.
That's
right?
exactly right. That's exactly right.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I certainly. I don't think anyone expects anything more than continued success. When we look at the future, I guess you really just need to keep on keeping on, right?
That's right. Like you mentioned at the outset, it's never too late to start saving, and the earlier you start, the better. So that's really our motto, and that's what we live by. The Treasurer's Office employees are in the plan as well. My staff, we're all in the plan. We believe in it. So that's why we're out there telling people about it, because we believe in it. We've seen the improvements, and we want to get more people into the plan so they can be better prepared for retirement.
Real quickly, when you look at your investments in 457, is it no different than investments in anything else, that you can't be switching them around constantly? You have to sort of, be in it for the long term?
Yeah, we tell people to maybe look at their investment options annually and just make sure you're on track with your goals. Have a good plan in place. Look at it long term. A lot of our funds are in the stock and bond market. As well as I do, there's a lot of ups and downs there. But if you look at it long term, hopefully you'll get a lot of nice growth when you retire.
Yeah. Okay. All right, John. Thanks for being with us here today. You've been a great guest and provided a lot of really valuable information. Okay, now remember, you can get the latest news and information from the State Treasurer's Office at home or on the go. You can check out our various blogs. If you go to our website, www.wvtreasury.com, there's a link to an excellent series of blogs on any number of subjects. You might be surprised on all the different topics covered there, news, tips, and information from each of our divisions, and some that don't pertain directly to some of our operations, but are just general good advice and just good informative stuff. We're trying to move into the social media realm. You can follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Connect with the Treasurer's Office today and start by visiting our website, as I mentioned. So we want to wish you a wonderful next month until we see you again, keeping you informed on the Library Television Network. I'm Greg Stone with the Office of West Virginia State Treasurer John Perdue.